Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to InfoWars. No, just kidding. Welcome to
Oh
the Double Take
God.
Podcast. We're going to get a little conspiratorial later, but I'm your host, Jordan, and to the left of me is my co-host, Marissa. Marissa, how you doing on this fine Tuesday afternoon?
I'm doing fantastic because guess what the fuck? The San Francisco Giants have the best record in all of Major League Baseball right now. Let's talk about it. We don't even need to talk about it. That's just facts. This is a San Jose Giants shirt, but I'm in spirit right now.
I'd rather compete with the Giants and the fucking Dodgers again. Like, it'd be hilarious if the Dodgers finished third place in this division. Like, I would be absolutely ecstatic if it's between the Padres and the. Now, I want my Padres to go fucking win the division.
Of course.
Although, in all fairness, I don't see that's not the Padres brand. They're very ragtaggy. I'd rather them have to fucking fight from a wild card. I feel like would be so much better.
That's true.
In those kind of games, but I can't believe the Giants are this fucking good, man. I mean, I can't believe the Dodgers just fell apart, man. They have fallen apart. Maybe they get it together at the All-Star break. Update on the Padres, by the way, they're absolutely slaughtering the Rockies right now. It's 8-1.
Oh, really?
They're absolutely shellacking them. Yeah, I need them to sweep the Rockies because then we have a very difficult series against the Cardinals, and then we got the Rockies again, and then we got another series against the Giants.
Is that in Colorado?
I think, yeah, it's in Colorado.
Okay. Yeah, home run derby all day.
Poor Rockies.
You shaved?
Yeah, I did shave.
Whoa!
I'm meeting my girlfriend's parents. I'm meeting the parents for the first time. Yeah, I'm gonna get my hair.
You gotta clean it up.
I gotta clean it up. I can't let her dad know she's dating a savage, so I had to shave the beard. Can't let her know. Can't let him know. But I want to get to the news because we do have some news.
All right.
Listen. What's the name of the third Lord of the Rings movie? Return of the King.
Okay.
Well, let me just tell you something. The King has returned.
Okay.
There are reports that the Jacksonville Jaguars will sign Tim Tebow to a 1-year deal to play tight end.
Are you shitting me, dude?
I'm not shitting you.
Stop.
Tebow time is back. Let's go. Let's bring back Tebowing. Please, let's bring it back.
Please,
my only question is this. Why Jacksonville? They did everything so correctly. They hired a good coach. They got Trevor Lawrence. I liked their draft. They got a good running back in ETN. They got Marvin Jones in the offseason. This offense is pretty good, actually. I mean, the line isn't the greatest, but you got James Robinson. I think his name's Travis Etienne. And then they had DJ Chark, and they got Marvin Jones. I forgot who they drafted later in the draft, but all I know is this team, while it might not, be a playoff roster, it's got some pieces. And so this is why it shocked me, right? Like, Trevor Lawrence, I mean, yes, he's a generational talent, but I feel like he'd benefit greatly from a number one tight end. And so now you get Tim Tebow. I mean, he doesn't even make the fucking team in my book. Like, there's no way.
Number one tight end, Tim Tebow.
No, it's not happening. He is 6'2". He's undersized, right? For a tight end, he's undersized. Right. Not weight-wise. I think he's like 250 or some crazy shit. But he hasn't played in like almost a decade, 9 years. He's 34 years old. Fuck. Like, people were giving the Chargers shit for getting Jared Cook, and I mean, he fucking put up great numbers last year. He's at least a professional tight end. Meanwhile, fucking the Jags are just, I mean, I thought Jacksonville was going in the right direction, Like, I thought they were, this makes them look like this is some shit the fucking Texans would do. The Texans might bring in fucking Tim Tebow as a quarterback. And this... And this shocks me because fucking Colin Kaepernick didn't get a goddamn starting job. You have to fucking throw in Tim Tebow.
Exactly.
Goddamn. At least Colin Kaepernick isn't that far removed from the league.
Right.
And Tim Tebow's a meme.
Yeah, 100%.
They got a meme at tight end.
All-star lineup right there.
He's going to be a locker room guy. And I'm like, what? Are you fucking? There's so many veteran tight ends, dude. Go get Antonio Gates out of fucking retirement before I get Tim Tebow. Come on now, go. There's so many like great tight ends nowadays. You telling me you couldn't pick one up? You're telling me you couldn't trade for fucking Njoku? You're telling me you couldn't have gotten a tight end in free agency? You had to go fucking pick up Tim Tebow. You couldn't have drafted one. I'm sure they drafted one. Let's look up Jacksonville's later picks.
Yeah, actually look that up because I mean, God, for Tim Tebow, it just sounds ridiculous, and it is ridiculous.
Okay, I'm gonna show you all the draft picks. Okay, so okay, I remember. So they did get a tight end in the 5th round, which isn't bad. They got a tight end in the 5th round. I mean, I don't know if that necessarily means he's a starter. He might be a developmental guy, but still, they got a tight end in the 5th round, Luke Fackrell. After the 1st round, they really attacked defense. They got Tyson Campbell, and then the 3rd round they got safety from Syracuse. They got a tackle, defensive tackle, and then they got an edge in the 4th round. I mean, they went running back, quarterback, tackle in the first 2 rounds. So, you know, I understand you want to go for defense later. I understand they didn't necessarily get a great fucking tight end, like a plug and play day one, but give the kid a chance. Actually, let me look at their roster right now.
But also, is Tim Tebow fucking plug and play? Like,
he's not. Dude, I'd rather go with the fucking rookie, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Like, at least somebody who's still in the fucking game. My God.
Okay, I'm trying to look at their roster right now. Hold on. Wait.
Are you gonna share your screen?
Yeah, let me share my screen. I just don't know who their tight end is, to be honest. I don't remember them having like a dynamic tight. I know they have weapons, but I just didn't know that they had like a dynamic. You need a tight end these days, I feel. It's just such an important position these days. See, their fucking website. They need to clean up their team and their goddamn website.
Yeah, what the hell is this?
Because I can't look. I'm clicking roster. Wait, let me go depth chart. Depth chart. There we go.
Is this the official website?
Yeah, let me go. There we go. Depth chart offense. Here we go.
That header looks like some WordPress free stock image shit.
Yeah. So yeah, look at they don't have a lot of studs at they got James O'Shaughnessy. So they don't have dynamic players at tight end. But at least this guy's a professional athlete. Tim Tebow is not. Look at this. Look at this guy. 7 years, fucking dude. He's taller than Tebow, stronger than Tebow. Shit. Come on now. Come on. Come on now. Let's stop. I mean, look, his stats aren't impressive. They need a tight end. I'm not going to lie, but Tim Tebow in it. They drafted one. Go pick one up in free agency. You're telling me one's not going to be available? They had so much cap space this offseason, and you're telling me they couldn't have acquired a tight end. Actually, let me double check. God, I rate this podcast 5 stars. I need to do my research before the fucking podcast.
No, but I mean, like, this is kind of just something we're kind of talking about on the fly. I think it's better. I don't like when things are too like planned out.
Okay, let me look at the free agency shining. So yeah, I do remember this. They got Shaquille Griffin from they had a decent free agency. Oh. They got Shaq Griffin, not the one with the one hand. I think the two-handed Shaq Griffin from the fucking
two-handed boy.
Yeah, from the Seahawks. Because there's another Shaq Griffin. I think that's his name, or it could have been a different name. But there's a one-handed fucking corner in Seattle. Sorry if I don't know. I follow him on Instagram. I think he had an inspiring story. So they actually got James O'Shaughnessy. They got him. I don't know from where, but they signed him. And then Marvin Jones. They got Rashawn Jenkins from the Chargers. That was right. They got Philip Dorsett. They got Carlos Hyde. So yeah, they got a tight end though. They got one in fucking the draft and free agency.
That one in Tim Tebow for sure.
And he's gonna be the third tight end. Look, because then they got this guy named Chris Manhertz. He's more of a blocking tight end, but still, that's what Tebow's gonna be. Right. So I don't get this move. I think it's a fucking meme. He's not making the team. This is like the NFL probably talked to Urban like, hey buddy, listen, the news cycle's been kind of slow. It's Rodgers saying nothing's happening. Got to throw it in there, man. We'll pay his whatever. But man, Tim Tebow, stop. Let's stop with this nonsense.
It doesn't make any sense.
Give Colin Kaepernick. Let Colin Kaepernick pay tight end before this fucking corny ass Christian boy. Fucking go build a church and make some real money. Fuck. Can you imagine Tim
He
Tebow
probably
open a
already
mega
has.
church?
That's probably what he's doing anyways.
Yeah, he's already has a mega church. He's already making in the money. So shut the fuck up, Tim Tebow. Go suck Jesus' dick.
Jesus, we're not.
I'm sorry.
Good stuff.
I'm sorry. I had to say it. I'm sorry. I'm tired of these Jesus freaks taking over everything. Go back to the pulpit. Let some real men play. And now if he comes out as an atheist, I will 100% support this move.
Can you imagine?
Yes.
Oh my god, that'd be
I
insane.
would love that.
I would
love that for him. I would love that. And he comes out gay and then non-binary as well.
Just hidden all. Just fucking trifecta.
QB1 in that case. Anyway. Some more news on the Aaron Rodgers front. It's
discount
looking like discount double check. Looking like he might stay in Green Bay. Just because it's been so quiet. I think they're trying to work out a deal right now. Trying to, he might become the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. They're gonna maybe give him a extension, move some money down. I think that's what's gonna happen. Some people still think he's going to Denver, but it's been quiet. And then Rich Eisen. He's speculating here, but thinking Deshaun Watson might be settling because you haven't heard much about Deshaun Watson. I think it's because a settlement. Because usually the accusers lawyers would be all over social media, trying to draw more attention to the case. But I firmly believe Deshaun Watson's going to settle, and I think he gets suspended. It depends on the charges, but maybe I don't know. It's weird. The NFL is weird on suspensions. I think it's at least an 8-gamer. Marissa, do you see any teams that would take Deshaun Watson even with an 8-game suspension?
Probably.
And what do you think you would trade for him? His trade value probably went way down too.
Oh, 100%. I think now, well, obviously a lot of teams were on the pursuit before, and then all that shit happened and came out and stuff. I mean, I think look at guys in the NFL now. Like teams don't give a shit. They're just trying to make money, which is fair. So I think if anything, I don't know if there'll be more teams, but he's still going to have a crowd because now people are going to see like, okay, yeah, his trade value did go way fucking down. So if we weren't going to pursue him before, maybe we'll try now. So I don't know what could be a landing spot for him. Before all the shit came out, I really wanted him with the 49ers. I thought that would have been cool. Of course, it ditched that train, but
yeah, not right now.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of teams that could use him, and to be honest, like you could probably give him like a 1 and a player or like a 1 and a 2. I don't think you would have to give up multiple first rounds anymore.
No, I don't think
man.
so.
I think Houston would be fine just moving off. Man, Houston gets so fucked in trades, man. Houston should never trade again. They are terrible at it. Like, they didn't even have a fucking pick till what, the 3rd round? Like, how the fuck does that even happen? How is your team that shitty and you make those kinds of shit? How do you give up that many picks and your team's that shitty? So, to be honest,
trade deals ever.
I'm trying to think of teams that could use them. Man, Denver, I think, makes the most sense, unfortunately, because I don't think they get Aaron Rodgers. If they don't get Aaron Rodgers, they got to trade for Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, if they don't get Aaron Rodgers, they have – exactly. If they don't get Aaron Rodgers, they have to do some shit.
A first in Drew Lock, easy. I think the fucking Texans would take that. A first in Drew Lock, you kidding me? Or maybe a first in Jared Judy, just something, man. They got to give up something. But yeah, I think Denver makes sense to me. Trying to think of other teams.
I wonder,
the Lions.
Was he speculating on like how soon he thinks that could happen?
He thinks this year. He thinks a trade could go down this year. That it could be settled as soon as before the season. I think so. Yeah, I'm thinking Denver, Chicago. I would have said before they got. The problem is the draft happened. I feel like most people address their quarterback needs. Carolina, you're telling me they wouldn't take Deshaun Watson over fucking Sammy Darnold? I don't think so. They got an aggressive owner. The Saints. I mean, I don't think they have the cap space to get him, but they could, cut Taysom, Well, then again, the Saints, I don't think it's culturally would fit. You need you'd have to go to like a train wreck of a team. You have to go to like the Lions. You have to go to some shitty situation because, man, if that guy's your franchise quarterback, that's not good. That's not great. That's not great for publicity. I don't know how it's going to affect ticket sales. So Deshaun Watson might be on the move. If I'm the Texans, I would move off of him, see what you can get for him. I still think he's at least worth a first round and a fucking player, or at least 2 first rounders. I don't know. I don't know how owners think. I don't know how GMs are thinking. Philly is very interesting to me. He could potentially go to Philly next year. Let's say he's suspended all of 2021. Maybe Philly, I think, is a good landing spot for him. And I think he should take whatever the fuck he gets then, if any team wants to trade for him. So yeah, that's Aaron. That's NFL news. Now let's get to the baseball news because
let's talk about
the face of Major League Baseball has been struck with the Rona. I thought he'd be vaccinated by this point. To be honest, I mean he's a professional fucking athlete.
Me too.
Conspiracy theory time. Trevor Bauer was sick of his shit, and he fucking snuck in to old Tatis's fucking house, and got someone with COVID to spit in his mouth while he's sleeping.
You know Trevor Bauer didn't get vaccinated.
You know he didn't. You know he's an anti-vaxxer.
1,000%.
You know he's an anti-vaxxer. I'm just saying it. This video is getting demonetized immediately.
No, dude, he's been open about shit like that. He probably has said. I don't know if he said, but like he's made some claims.
He looks like a nasty fucking dude. He's got the heavy beard, the long hair. He looks like he has snot in his face.
Ew.
Yeah, he just looks gross. He looks like he'd smell like shit. So that's why. I mean,
he's a weird dude.
I'm not saying you got to be all like, yeah, yes, I love the vaccine. Yes, shove that science juice down my throat. But yeah,
right.
He looks kind of dirty.
Your vaccine yet?
I'm waiting.
Oh, okay.
Well, I think I'm gonna get it now because I heard there's like actually a surplus and like people actually aren't getting it. So I've already had it, so I'm not in a rush. Plus, I'm training for a marathon, so like, you feel like shit for a day. So I train every day. So
I felt like shit for like a week.
I mean, I've been taking the Joe Rogan vaccine, just a lot of zinc and vitamins and vitamin D3.
Fucking Jesus.
I'm a Joe. Nobody's right though when he said like if you're young and healthy, you don't really need to take it, but I think you still should. You know. Yeah. He didn't say don't take it. He just said I don't know, think about it. But anyway, I don't know how the fuck we got on that tangent. My boy Tatis Jr. got the Rona, and now he's going to be gone at least 2 weeks, right? No, at least 10 days, I think. I think that's how long
I believe it's 11 days.
Okay, 11 days. Thank God we're playing the Rockies. So thank God we had that game postponed. So the Padres had a weather delay yesterday, so thank God it pushed the games back. So now the only thing that sucks is we're probably not going to have them for the Cardinal series, but we'll probably get them back right in time to play your Giants. So that's nice. I'm gonna do my best Alex Jones impression here because I have a conspiracy about this.
God, that we didn't already go over the conspiracy. This is another one.
Yes.
Okay.
The one I texted you. God. So listen, the elites of the world. I'm doing an Alex Jones. I know it sounds fucking terrible. Listen. The globalists just can't stand the fact that this kid is absolutely tearing up Major League Baseball. Okay, hear me out now. Hear me out. Listen, I have the documents, okay? I have the documents that say Major League Baseball is clearly being disrespected, okay? This Tatis Jr. kid is making the game look too exciting. He's hitting too many home runs. He's having too much fun, and we caught him peaking, okay? We caught him peaking. Now, it's not an official rule of baseball, but goddamn it, it's still cheating. So I think the globalists and the liberal media up there in MLB, I firmly believe what they did is they said it's like what the NBA did to Michael Jordan when he gambled too much.
God.
They said, all right, you're gonna go fucking make Space Jam and play baseball for a few seasons, all right? So what they did to old boy Tatis is you got COVID for 11 days. Don't be fucking pinking at the ball and ruin our game, all right? Don't be celebrating doing them flip farm filth and none of that shit. Okay, listen, okay? Stay woke, people. I have the documents, okay? I have a very reliable source that says Major League Baseball is not happy with Tatis Jr. The Padres look too damn good. They really want the Dodgers to be in the World Series, but they just suck so much donkey balls that they have just not been playing good. So yeah, that's my conspiracy. This is actually a suspension by Major League Baseball, hidden as he got COVID.
There's probably a couple threads on Reddit speculating the same shit, so I don't think you're that far.
True believers, okay? These true believers know what's going on. It's the truth. How's my Alex Jones? Where's my Alex Jones from 1 to 10?
And the documents are like a couple like printed out tweets from like people with like 2 followers.
Yes.
The
But rate
documents.
my Alex Jones from 1 to 10. How good was that, Alex
Honestly,
Jones?
that was pretty good. That was pretty good. I'll give you like a 9.
Oh, really? Thank you. Thank you. This hurts my throat to do though. Like the man that did the whole podcast like this.
Ew.
Sports conspiracy theories. I feel like that's already been a podcast, but fuck it. We're
I mean,
we're,
yeah.
we're mixing it up. All right, that's it for Major League Baseball news. Tatis, come back soon. We miss you, Daddy. We miss you. We miss you. What's his nickname? His nickname isn't. It's Nino. We miss you, Nino. Come fucking back. We need your boy for that Giant series. Take a rest during the Cardinals. We'll take that L on the Cardinal series. We played the fucking Rockies twice. So you told me that you didn't know much about fantasy football, Marissa. So I want to do a segment. I want the rest of this episode dedicated to tips for first-time fantasy football players. So I'm going to give you a few essential tips when going into your draft and going into research. Now, I am not going to tell you in this podcast the fucking third receiver from the Bengals that you should be looking out for, okay? I'm not going to be diving deep in because I haven't done my research that well for, the depth pieces. I mean, I know in general who I'm drafting, but like the later round picks, I don't quite know. I don't know the running back depth that well. But I'm going to give you the do's and don'ts for your fantasy draft. Now, tip number 1, know your league format. That is one of the most important things when drafting players. That traditionally, there's 3 kinds of ways that people will score in fantasy football. There is what is called a standard league, in which players get points for yardage and touchdowns, just purely yardage and touchdowns. So like a pass catching running back might not be a great option in that kind of league. You might want to lean on players more like Derrick Henry, who get a lot of yards, or like a Devontae Adams, who scores more touchdowns. So that is one kind of scoring, is standard. You get points for yards, touchdowns, and if your kickers for field goals, and your defenses for interceptions, fumbles, and special teams for returns. Okay. So number 1, know your league format. Also, with your league format, how are you drafting? There are traditionally 2 kinds of drafts. There's what's called a snake draft, which means if you have the first pick in the first round, you have the 10th pick in the second round. Do you know what I mean, Marissa? By a snake draft? It's not like the NFL draft where Jaguars pick the beginning of every round.
Right.
In a snake draft, they'd pick 32 in the second round, and then it flips back and forth. Okay. That is 90%, 99% of leagues, if I'm being honest. That is like 99% of leagues. The next, I can't really help you with. It's called an auction league. That's basically where a player will be brought up and you bid on it. I would recommend, if you're a first-time fantasy player, to absolutely start with a standard snake draft league, because auction leagues are just weird. You got to kind of know ahead of time. And then I think actually there's a third kind of league. It's just like we straight up buy players. You have a salary cap. We basically manage players. So know your league format. And that also means, is there how do they do trades? Is there a waiver wire system? For those of you who don't know, a waiver wire system is when you have free agents, right? So you have players that are undrafted after the draft, and you can pick them up off waivers. Most leagues use a waiver wire system where they rank. So say there's 10 people in a league, and it ranks them like 1 to 10, and every time that's your waiver priority, right? So when waivers go through, the person with the number 1 priority gets their number 1 priority, and then it goes down. So the more picks you make, the lower you go down the waiver. So the less picks you make, the higher your waiver priority goes. So know your league format. It will be extremely important in the types of players you draft and the types of moves you make. I recommend for anyone starting out, we're not even going to talk about dynasty leagues. We're not going to talk about keeper leagues. I recommend you start with a standard 10-team league. And I also didn't talk about the other types of scoring. Rate this podcast 5 stars. So there's standard, right, where you get points just through yards and touchdowns. Then there's called full PPR. PPR means points per reception. So that means every time your player makes a catch, they get a point. So this makes like pass catching running backs and receivers that, like a Cole Beasley that makes a lot of catches but doesn't necessarily score a lot of touchdowns more valuable. And there's half point PPR where you get half a point. I think that's my favorite. I think it's the most balanced league. So know your league format. All right, Marissa, let's get to the second tip. Don't draft a name. Okay? You're going to go in a draft. You're going to see Tim Tebow there. Do not fucking draft names, okay? Do your research ahead of the draft. Just because you see Ezekiel Elliott, you're like, oh, I love Zeke. He's a great fucking player. He's a blue chip player. That doesn't necessarily mean he is the best person to pick in the draft, okay? Look for value in the draft. There might be guys you have never even heard of. Najee Harris just got drafted, rookie. He might be an absolute stud. He might, Mike Tomlin likes using his workhorse backs. Najee Harris might be a very high draft pick, but you might not have heard of him. Austin Eckler, another one. He's not a fucking name brand player, but he might be a top 5 back this year with a better offensive line than Justin Herbert. Okay? So do not draft a name. I see this all the time. People reaching for quarterback, drafting Patrick Mahomes first overall. Do not draft a name. Draft players with value. Look at their stats from last year. And and that actually brings me to my third point. Oh. Look at situations around a player. Okay? Just because a player went off one year doesn't mean that their situation didn't change. Players change each year. Situations change. Coaches change. Teams change. Consider everything when looking into players. Did they change coaches? Did they change quarterbacks? Did they change coordinators? Did they get better on the offense or defensive line? These are things you have to consider. For example, you might have liked Tyler Boyd last year. Well, the Bengals just got Jamar Chase, so he's probably not going to get as much targets. I hate to keep bringing back Austin Eckler, but Austin Eckler was injured for a lot of last year, and he was running by the 32nd worst offensive line in football. Now that offensive line gets a significant increase. You look at the Falcons, right? Calvin Ridley should be a high priority pick because Julio Jones might get traded, and the new head coach used to be an OC, an offensive coordinator. So look at the situation around a player. It will very much dramatically affect how they will do. Okay? You got to look at the quarterback. You got to look at the coach. Look at players' situations. Don't just say, oh, he was great last year. He's going to be great this year, because a lot of players fall off. Not because they're bad, but just because of simply circumstances, okay? Like Denver, right? Look at the receiving core in Denver. If they get Rodgers, their second or third receiver might be someone you want to hit in early rounds, right? Like Jerry Jeudy's value skyrockets if you have Aaron Rodgers there. And some like look at the Washington football team. They went through a cavalcade of quarterbacks. Terry McLaurin with Fitzmagic, who's going to throw the ball 80 times a fucking game, might be a great value pick. So look at situations. Okay. I'm going to now go. You can just put this tip as draft positions at the right pick. So I'm going to give you guys a very specific rundown on this. First round, receiver or running back. If you have a top 5 pick in your draft, draft a fucking running back, okay? Running backs are incredibly rare, okay? Good, consistent running backs are very rare. Like, there's like probably 10 backs that are absolutely studs and killers, and then it's just to the wolves in later rounds, okay? So your first round, draft a running back, or if you pick later, pick a receiver. And when it comes to picking receiver in the first round, there's only like 3 or 4 receivers you should be targeting. A Devontae Adams, a Stephon Diggs, or DeAndre, like elite, like guys who are going to get at least, 7 to 10 targets a week and who are going to, on average, put up between 80 to 100 yards and, score at least 7 to 10 touchdowns. You need absolute studs in your first round pick. Also, bonus tip in this pick, don't overthink your first round pick. Don't be the Oakland Raiders and draft fucking Alex Leatherwood in the first round, okay? Don't get cute. Get the best value at that pick, okay? So round 1, if you're not a top 5 pick or you think all the good running backs are gone, then yes, maybe pivot to a receiver, okay? Second round, I would also go receiver or running back or possibly tight end. Now, when it comes to tight ends, there's only 2 or 3 that are, the tight ends suck, guys. You're going to be fucking gambling with tight. There're not that many great tight ends. Like, you got Kittle, Kelsey, and Mark Andrews, and then maybe take a risk on Kyle Pitts.
Tim Tebow
should be number 1 overall in your draft. He is an immediate game changer. But no, in all seriousness, so second round, a top tier tight, like literally like Kelsey or Kittle. Those are the only 2 tight ends I would allow you to pick in the second round. If you're picking like later in the second round, like maybe you got a great running back in the first round and most of the receivers are gone. Okay. Rounds 3 and 4, it's your choice. I'd go receiver, and then maybe running back. So your first 4 rounds, running back, receiver, hit those heavy. Now you can usually get a good like flex option in later rounds when it comes to receiver, but I would definitely target heavy running backs, receiver, and then if you get an elite tight end in those first 4 rounds, go for it. My 5th piece of advice: do not draft a quarterback early. And I would even recommend you might not even want to draft a quarterback at all. You can usually get quarterbacks off the waivers, because that's the thing, Marissa. Outside of like Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, quarterbacks, if you're a starting quarterback for a team and you have a good matchup, you're going to have a good week. So you can literally flex quarterbacks in. So draft quarterbacks in the later rounds. You can usually get a good deal, like maybe like a Burrow or maybe like, like a Derek Carr. You can get them later. Do not draft Patrick Mahomes in the second fucking round. You can get him in the third. If you can get him in the fourth, I have no problem with that. But do not draft a quarterback early. That is a massive rule. Also, don't draft a fucking kicker. Just don't. In fact, rule number 5, do not have kickers in your league. They're completely fucking random. Replace that kicking spot with an extra flex player. Fuck kickers. They make no sense. They're so random. They don't add anything to fantasy. I don't give a fuck about kickers, okay? Just remove them from your league. Talk to your commissioner of your league. Get them removed, okay? So that's my draft advice. Okay. Number 6. Make trades during the season, okay? Great podcast to listen to if you want like more in-depth fantasy footballers podcast. They do a great job. They always say you set the foundation for your team at the draft, but you win during the seasons, okay? Be active in the trades. You will have stupid people in your fucking league. Make those trades, okay? And the best way to make trades is you have a guy who you know is probably not going to be great the whole season, who might have had a great week. You try to trade with people who need what you got and have what you need, okay? You guys should both feel confident walking away with trades. Don't do the 1-to-1 trade where you're trading a receiver for a receiver, okay? Maybe you have extra depth at receiver and you need a running back. Make trades where you both feel happy. You're not going to be able to make a trade unless you are both satisfied. So make fucking trades. And also be active on the waiver wire, because your guys are going to get hurt. Add depth pieces. I am always checking my waivers on Sunday. Who broke out? Who could break out? Always add breakout players. Even if your team's fucking stacked, you don't know what's going to happen later in the season. You don't know if maybe one of your players gets into a slump, maybe someone gets injured. So build depth through the waiver wires, okay? Absolutely. Okay, 7th piece of news. Be an active manager. Watch all the damn games, okay? Try to watch highlights. Try to watch the bridge. Look at all 32 teams, okay? Don't be like Marissa if she has a fantasy team. Drafting fucking Trey Lance as a quarterback, Kittle, Mostert. Her fucking receiving course is Debo. Don't be a homer. I'd recommend only having 2 players on the same team, if I'm being honest. Only have 2 players, right?
But also, I'm drafting Tim Tebow for sure.
Tebow's a first-round pick. Don't let the fucking media, don't let the liberal media fool you.
Oh, no.
Be an active manager, okay? Fucking pay attention. Look at news. Take this shit seriously. Nothing fucking bothers me more when a soccer mom is trading away good players and some fucking douchebags taking advantage of her, okay? Be an active manager, okay? Take this shit seriously. You don't have to spend that much time, but try to watch as much football as you can. if you're into fantasy, you probably like football anyway. So that is my 7 tips
I would
for
hope so. My
fantasy
God.
football. Yeah, don't be a lazy piece of shit. All right, Marissa, I'm going to do our fun little question. And then, unless you have any news or anything you want to add to the podcast, we're going to wrap this bitch up. It's going to be a quick one. It's going to be
Yeah,
a
I really don't
quickie
think so.
because baseball's in the infancy right now, in the infancy of the season. We don't give a fuck about NBA, and football is going to be dead for a while until we get to training camp and we get to see Jordan Love light it up in preseason. What if Jordan Love just looks like a fucking absolute animal in preseason? Then I'd be like, all right, Rogers, you're done.
Jesus.
He ain't no
who
Justin
knows?
Herbert.
At this point, I honestly am not surprised by anything that goes on.
I'm surprised he hasn't slid in your DM considering his first name's Jordan.
Done.
Done? Finished?
I'm off that shit.
You're off that shit? Are you telling me Jordan Love
Fine.
slides your DM? He's like, I only fuck with starting quarterbacks. I only fuck with starters. None of this backup bullshit.
If you were starting quarterback and your name was Jordan, I'd probably make an exception. But like, no.
Nah. You know the funny thing is, too? The only video I've seen of him is like doing like drills, and he is fucking terrible. I'm like, dude, I could throw the ball better than you. It's like, how the fuck? How did you whiff that bad on this pick, Packers? Yeah. Okay. We did our Mother's Day special. What's the next fucking holiday that's coming up?
Father's Day?
What should we do, Marissa, before you bring it up?
Oh, well, no, I was gonna say we should. I don't know about this. I don't know what you're trying to ask, but in the future, if not now, we should do like a baseball fun bullshit ending. Oh, we haven't done one yet. We've only done football, I think.
I don't know. No, mine would be all Padres because I don't know shit about baseball. I'd be all Padres and Dodgers because those are the two motherfuckers I know.
So now you'd be on the other end. So now you'd be the fucking homer.
All right, we'll do this. We'll fucking we'll flip the script. I'll do baseball. I'll do baseball. Okay. Nate, give me 4 baseball. You're the mob boss, right? You're the fucking leader of the mafia. You got a nice fucking, like, I'm talking Sopranos level. Like, you got a strip club, you got an office in the back, you got a fucking Italian joint you all go to. Give me 4 baseball players who are in your crew. I just thought baseball, bats, mafia. By the way, have you ever seen the movie fucking Casino?
Yeah.
Do you know the ending when fucking Joe Pesci comes out and gets his ass kicked with the fucking baseball bat? They beat him with the fucking aluminum bat. That is the most brutal scene in a fucking Scorsese movie. When he's just beating the shit out of him with a fucking baseball bat.
I've seen flash for him.
Okay, so just that scene, who's gonna be on your team?
Who's like my entourage? You're saying?
You got 4. No, these are your mob. You're the mob boss. These are your fucking lieutenants. You got 5 fucking 4. Listen to me, 4. Easy on me. 4 fucking lieutenants.
Okay.
Who are your enforcers?
Okay. All right. You know what? I'm actually gonna pick Trevor Bauer. I know we were just shitting on him, but also I think that if that were his job, I think he's kind of a bigger guy. I think that he's kind of the crazy guy that would just kind of go in. So I wouldn't really count him out. How tall is he? Are you gonna look that up? I think he's like 6'3", 6'4". So he's pretty tall, and he's just kind of crazy. Yeah, he's crazy.
He does look crazy. He's 6'1", but he's a big boy, 205.
Okay.
By the way, the Dodgers are down to the Mariners 3-1, baby. Let's go. Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
Let's go, Mariners. They got the same record. I love how terrible they are. Okay. Who else? You got Trevor Bauer. You got go three more lieutenants.
Okay. Three more.
I'm about to look up some players while you go, by the way.
I honestly might need to also, just because I can't think of anybody. Like the guys that I'm thinking of, I feel like I wouldn't trust them in that situation. Like I need some give me like a Trevor Bauer, like crazy kind of vibes. Fuck. You know what? I would have Manny Machado as well. Because Manny Machado is his fucking legs, dude. That fucking me and my sister always laugh about his like knee to ankle ratio is so fucking insane. Like his torso is not small, but his legs are like triple the size. I don't even think he's that tall. I think he's like maybe 6'2" or something. But like he looks like he's like 6'8". Like his legs are like ridiculous.
Oh my
Um
god.
yeah, and I think he would go off on people. So yeah, I'm taking okay, so Trevor Bauer, Manny Machado. I don't see any Giants stepping into this role because they're all kind of old. I'm actually I don't think I'm gonna pick any Giants players. Let me see. See, because I Bryce Harper came to mind, but I don't know. So you know what? I actually will take Bryce Harper because
Okay.
he was in a brawl at a game that I literally could have gone to. I could have like I had tickets basically to go and I didn't fucking go. And it was in San Francisco. He is like a few years ago. He fought a Giants pitcher at the time. His name was Hunter Strickland. If Hunter Strickland was still active, which I don't think he is, I would definitely want him. But anyway, so Bryce Harper they were out there fighting. I wish I could have seen it. I would take Hunter Strickland over Bryce Harper, but because Bryce Harper talks a lot of shit, I would hope that he'd be able to back it up, although I feel like he wouldn't be able to. But he's my dark horse. I'm going to pick him anyways because maybe I feel like him and Bauer would fire each other up. And my fourth one, I'm going to take Giants icon, Giants legend, who's currently on the Diamondbacks, which still breaks my heart, Madison Bumgarner. Because Madison Bumgarner is such a bad motherfucker. I love him so much. I miss him every single day. I love him. And he could beat somebody's ass for sure. So those are my four.
Okay.
So Bryce Harper, Trevor Bauer, Madison Bumgarner, and Manny Machado.
Those are some scary fucking dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does have big legs now that I think about it.
Yeah.
All right.
It's crazy.
So my top two lieutenants,
Okay.
my fucking I'm trying to like model out to the Sopranos. So like my big pussy would be Miguel Cabrera, 38 years old, old head, big motherfucker. He ain't gonna be taking shit. And then my Paulie, because you know I need my fucking Paulie, is a guy who fucking destroyed the Padres multiple times. Albert Pujols. So I got my two, my boys, my old boys, my Paulie and my fucking big pussy. And then I need my Christopher. But if you haven't seen The Sopranos, you have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. I need a fucking Italian in my crew. I need a real Italian motherfucker. I don't even know if he's Italian, but he's got an Italian ass name. I'm taking Padres catcher Victor Gaudini.
He probably is Italian.
Because you know why? He'll catch my flack. He's a catcher, so he'll catch bullets from me. He can't hit that well, but he can catch bullets from me. He would take a bullet from me. He's a catcher. And then, so actually, no, he's not my Christopher. He's just my other lieutenant. My Christopher would be Fernando Tatis.
Okay.
My golden boy, my heir to the throne. He'd be the guy running. He's so fast. He'd be running the stuff. He'd be running the messages.
That's true.
So yeah, that'd be my crew. I'd have two old heads and then two fucking Padres. And I just wanted an Italian dude in there. I just wanted an Italian dude. All right, Marissa, I think that's going to wrap up this episode of the Double Take Podcast. I hope this was helpful to all you first-time fantasy football players and all you Alex Jones heads out there. Don't forget to tune in to InfoWars. Don't forget to rate, like, share, subscribe. Share this with your mama. Unless she's religious and likes Tim Tebow, then don't. Yeah. Good night, everybody, and good night, Daddy Tebow.